Well, hey, y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. I have a lap full of fur babies this morning, and Uncle Sam wants you to be happy and healthy and prosperous. At least that's the Uncle Sam that I knew. He's even carrying a teddy bear, y'all, and he is one of my little things that I like having out during the holiday. Got him at a thrift store. He's all metal. He's really cute. And I just love playing with that for the lives anyway. I want to welcome in Tuck by V. Thank you for being here. Our current member list is Life of Lucretia, Triple Threat Firearms and Defense, McKay 235, Aerial Viking Venture and Victuals, Smoky Mountain Blessed, Fresh and Fire Backyard Living, Gail's Southern Living Storyteller Donnie, Indiana Backyard Gardener, The Bud Files, Blessed to Crochet. Oh, I thought I had turned my sound off. Hey, cruising is fun anytime. Let me get you on my list. Okay. Life in the Piedmont, Suzanne Goulet. Jennifer Ocean Homestead, Garden State So-and-so, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, Shannon My Little Homestead, Adenir, and Sweet Melissa at Coastal Girl. We're going to have a very political show today, y'all. I don't do a lot of politics because, a lot of the YouTube thing frowns on it, but these are topics that we need to discuss. And one of the reasons I do share politics sometimes is because, hello, my friend, I don't know your name, but thank you for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. One of the reasons I share politics is years ago, God started giving me dreams and visions of political figures and things that were going to happen. And those dreams began to come true for the majority of the part. I'm not going to say they all came through, but for the majority of the parts, they did. And so I got involved in the political arena. And I'm also involved with our local politicians. And I'm going to have to get off here and go check out this channel that's in our chat today. So let me go over here and pull my live back up. So we're going to be talking about some political things, and it's getting hot. The heat is on, but we're sitting in the air conditioner. Thank God for that. It's hot outside, but it's also cool inside. And I know it's an oxymoron, but we need to be discussing these things and really taking to heart what these things may mean for us personally, because, everything that starts at the top trickles down to us eventually. So let me get over here to my live, and I can't do it on my StreamYard, but I have to go in here and do it. So let me get over here and do that, if it'll pull up. And it's not wanting to pull up. Try it again. Sometimes we're having difficulties with our internet. Let's do it again. Okay. Hey, P&J Homestead Adventure. Thank you for coming in. Let me get your name on my list. I don't need to add. Live chat. And go to channel. So what I'm doing right now for my friend that's got the language that I don't understand on her channel, I am going to pull up one of your videos. I'm going to put it in my watch later list. I'm going to pull up a second video and put it in my new channel list. That way you can get some watch time from me, and maybe we become friends. I look forward to being friends with anybody that wants to be my friend. Hey, Jeremy Heath, welcome in. And so I've got your name on my list. Let me pull you up too, Jeremy. Make sure that I'm getting your channel. Yeah, I haven't subscribed to you yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put you in my watch later list. You've only got one video up so far. That's okay. We got to start somewhere. All right. So the topics today are going to be a little bit heated. So I don't want the heated stuff going into the chat, just so y'all know that. Good morning, Christy. Welcome in. That's Christy Betts, my neighbor from down the street. Hey, Tiffany with Canadian Family Life. Welcome in. Mrs. T with a T. Bella's Whisperer Farmstead. Kristen, welcome in. LSP, the freckle-faced artist, welcome in. So glad that y'all are here. Well, I try to give some love back to everybody that comes through my chat. We are going to be talking some heated discussions, but let me start out by saying, let's be friends. Let's be friends live. This is what the name of my live is, but the title of it is The Heat is On, So is the Air Conditioner. So politically, the heat is really on right now. There's been a real shakeup in the DNC with number 46 backing out of running for a second term and things like that. So it's really heating up in that arena. So I wanted to touch on these just a little bit. And then maybe at the end of this, I will open up the panel. We can have an open panel discussion. If we do that, I have to recognize your channel. I have to see your face in the basement before you can even come up on here. And it is a lot about politics today, but you know, God is still in control, and we're going to talk about that in our devotional today as well. So over the weekend, I went to Tennessee Representative David Kostoff's family cookout. We get an invitation every year. We try to go every year. It's always a good time. He had over 500 guests at this event this time around. They actually didn't have tables set up for the number of people that showed up. But it's always good time to talk to other constituents and hobnob with your elected officials. Anyway, he got up there and he spoke. Governor Lee did not come this time, but some of the other representatives from Tennessee were there, including Tennessee Representative Chris Todd. And both David Kustoff and Chris Todd have our state at heart and our nation at heart. They're both hometown boys, kind of, so to speak. And it's really nice to be able to sit down and talk with one of them, and I will tell you about that in a minute. CC's Texas Garden, welcome in. Yeah, spell checker can mess up somebody's life, I'm telling you. It happens to me all the time, too. So David Kustoff got up and he spoke about some of the things that are going on locally in our local government, the laws and stuff that are being passed for the state of Tennessee to try to shore up our state against some of this political scrambled egg politics that we've been seeing. And also, Tennessee has a month of fasting and prayer, a proclamation that was signed into law. Hey, Laura's Garden and More. Deb S., welcome in. That's Deb S., the Pug Mama Quilter. South Florida Sunshine, welcome in. Tiffany, last week I was pronouncing everybody's name wrong at the beginning of my live. It was so funny. But they weren't happy about it. But I explained to them why I do things like that, because of that small, unspecified white mass on my frontal lobe. I can read a word and say it totally different than what it is a lot of times. So I have to be really, really careful about what I'm saying. Anyway, he got up there and spoke. We had a great time. We had some local politicians seated at our table that we recognized. And then David Kustoff, I think, had to leave. But Chris Todd came over and ate with us. So I got to get in his ear and talk about some things that were concerning to me. And so, hey, J3GS, J3GS. Welcome in. Walking with Goldie. Welcome in. I'm seeing a lot of different channels here, new channels. So if y'all would start dropping the word Hillbilly, and Nightbot will start dropping your links so everybody can connect, because we do connect and grow here. And if you're new to my channel, I will give you some watch time during the week. And then one day within the next 7 days, I will friend your channel if I agree with what you're producing, what you're putting out. So there are some people that will come here that I'll never friend for that. One reason is I don't like foul language, and I don't like a lot of different things. I'm a very moral, upstanding, conservative person. Thank you, South Florida Sunshine. It says you said dealt with my mom having aphasia. That is hard to deal with. Bless you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, my mother had early onset Alzheimer's. We were told at her death. They really didn't know before that. They didn't even know what Alzheimer's was at that time, but that's a whole other subject. Hey, Rhonda H., welcome in. Okay, so Chris Todd, I was able to get into his ear. Hey, Backyard Trucker. And some of the things that I was talking to him about was things that we as homesteaders are concerned about. Hey, Tigsy, welcome in. Get my books straightened out. Where'd you go? Hey, sweet Melissa, welcome in. Judy Mae Collins, welcome in. So I got in his ear, and the first thing I asked him is, why is it that organic foods in the store is so much more expensive than the boxed meals and garbage that they're feeding us? He didn't have an answer for that. Hey, Rhonda H. He said mainly it's because they want to push that kind of food on the public, which I agree with. Hey, Kim Burris, welcome in. So, I was talking to him about all the autoimmune diseases that I have and my children have. And I told him, I said, a lot of this is coming from the processed foods that we have been fed for years and years and years. And I said, there's several factors in autoimmune diseases. And I started listing them off, and his mouth just fell. He couldn't believe how many autoimmune diseases that I'm carrying. And I told him, I said, I'm trying to go organic as I can. I'm getting away from the grocery stores completely as much as possible, and trying to get an alternative, healthier food inside me. Hey, Broken Hearts Ministry, welcome in. Well, we also talked about some of the political things that are going on. I talked to him about the, going cashless, the cashless society thing that's being pushed by some of our local stores, like Walmart, and our Dollar General has put up signage and stuff saying that you're going to have to be able to be facially recognized coming into the store. They've got cash registers set up so that you can self checkout and all of these things. And they've got cameras throughout the store watching your every move so they can get you at every angle and know exactly who you are. Yeah, our Food and Drug Administration is ornery little fellers. I agree with you. And I told him, I said, and not only that, but we're having food recalls after food recall. If you go and look, there's multiple food recalls going on at once, and you don't know what you can eat, what you can't. Because let's make it to market and others have fillers, supply and demand, they have heavily sprayed stuff that makes it easier to market, and then the fillers and the foods have representatives in politics. Absolutely. I told him about the bugs being put into the foods. I told him about the sprays that they're putting on the fresh produce. I told him about the synthetic meats that are hitting the markets. And I told him, I said, the state of Tennessee needs to block all this. I said, pesticides are in everything. And so I'm asking you to get some laws pushed through to protect Tennesseans because of our health. Hey, the Stock Explorer, welcome in. That's Nora. Christy says she's going to start wearing a fake beard to the store. Oh, Judy May, I didn't know you were Nora's aunt. Awesome. Did I get Judy? Yeah. That's awesome. I had no idea. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, the facial recognition, all of this is part of the New World Order that they've been trying to push on our nation and across the world. We're not the only ones. It's happening all over the world. So, I mean, it's very biblical if you look at it in a biblical aspect, because the Bible tells us what's going to happen. Yeah, we went and bought a loaf of bread the other day. We buy the Sara Lee brand because it's about the only brand out there that doesn't have all the garbage in it. And my husband came out of the store and he says, I just paid $4.69 for a small loaf of bread. Unbelievable. And I told him, I said, this is why I want to start making our bread at home, because you're going to be paying more and more when you go to the store. The Bible talks about a day's wages for a loaf of bread. So y'all need to wake up. Yeah, I don't want Jilly Bates coating our organic produce, and we want local produce too. Absolutely. Mrs. T, you're stuffing your face and listening. Great. Make sure I haven't missed anybody in the chat. So I talked to him about a lot of different things, and I told him, I said, I'm very, very concerned for my grandchildren. What kind of world are they going to they're going to have to navigate through, because 2 of them are now officially adults. I got a 3rd one that will be an adult in December. And so I'm very concerned as a grandparent. And of course he says, well, you don't look your age. I told him how old I was. And he says, you don't look your age. And then I started talking about Social Security and what I have gone through with them. And he told me some people to contact, in our state legislation that may be able to help me with the VA and with Social Security. I just switched off of SSI to SSD retirement. I was told I was not qualified for full Social Security, although I've paid into the system since 1978. They go by the quarters, and if you miss so many quarters, then you lose all your benefits. Did y'all know that? Well, it's true that they have so much red tape that you have to navigate through, and they will not give you a straight answer on anything you ask. But I did finally get the phone call, and I was able to sign up for the SSD retirement. Whether or not I get the check or not, that's a whole nother ballpark, because I got caught up in all that you were overpaid group, millions of dollars of overpayments. Now they're sending out underpayments, people that were not paid enough. And I'm like, which is it? Is it an overpayment or an underpayment? Which one is it? I want to know what's going on with our Social Security Administration. You know, we've been told for the last 40 years that Social Security will not be around by the time you hit 65. Social Security will not be around. You know, it'll be gone before you hit 40. We've heard that for years and years. It's still there. The government took it over. It was an independent entity. It was outside the government controls. And I think it was Johnson. I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson that dipped his hand into Social Security and started the ball rolling to take over Social Security. And they never paid a dime of the money back that they borrowed from Social Security. Hey, John Poe, welcome in. Paul, Poe. So glad that you're here. If you're new here, I will be getting back to your channel within 5 to 7 days. I do go around and I do go in and watch a few of your videos before I actually friend your channel. So I'm going to go ahead and get you in there, because I know that you're new here. And let's get started. I'm going to do some save to watch later list. Looks like you're into cars. That's neat. So I'm going to put one on my new channel list. And then after I watch those, I'll go over and I'll friend your channel as well. Yeah. The politicians do ask for donations. You know, they have to have so much money raised to even run. South Florida Sunshine says, oh no, so sorry. Can you believe people think socialism will work when Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare is a mess most of the time? Yeah, and Social Security is a social program. It was implemented during the Great Depression to try to help people out. And it was never meant to be a income for somebody to live off of. But that's what it's turned into. And it becomes, and as I put it to him, I said, you become imprisoned. You become a slave to Social Security because you got to jump through all these hoops to qualify. And I said, that's not right. When we are the ones that paid into the system. The government didn't pay into the system. So it's wrong. And if I didn't have to be on it, trust me, I would not be on it. Yeah, a lot of the government people make at least $400,000 a year. And that's crazy. And then you got people like us that are just, you know, paycheck to paycheck. So anyway, that's what I talked to Chris Todd about. And he took it to heart and he took it to the cuff. And he is one of those, along with David Kustoff, that are go-getters in our Congress. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Along with Marsha Blackburn, whom I do know. I have met her several times before she was a politician. Very smart lady. And all three of them speak bluntly to you about politics. They don't try to sugarcoat it. And so we want to be involved in our local politics so that we can get the right message to Washington. So we start out in these little gatherings that they do, and then we are able to get words into their minds of what we want as the people, because the people govern, not the government. The people govern. Well, even some of our schools, Judy May, make ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, just ridiculous amounts of money. Hey, Scratch and Pete, welcome in. And Twin Brook Acres, welcome in. Let me get you on my list. We're filling in fast today. Yeah. One of the things that they're going to try to do, I think, with this new Congress that will be coming in is they're going to try to put term limits on Congress. I hope it passes because really and truly, they don't need to be in there more than our president is allowed to be in there 8 years. You know, if he does 2 terms, it's 8 years. So they really don't need to be in there that long. Another thing is, you know, we've got so much going on in the political climate that we have been in for, I don't know, at least 4 presidents. Hey, Victoria G. So glad that you're here. I'm going to have to flip my page over. I've run out of room to write on that one. So our political climate is just a hodgepodge mess, and it has been for a while now. We've seen things in our country that we never would have dreamed would ever happen. And I am so thankful my parents are not alive to witness what we're seeing now. Yeah, money governs, and a few politicians actually seem loyal to their people. Yeah, it's true. And politicians are going in there and they're making bukus of money. They're not supposed to take gifts and incentives from other people, and yet they do it anyway, and they're getting away with it and have been for a very, very long time, which is another subject. So anyway, we're in a political heat. Number 46 announced that he was stepping aside from running for a second term, and he put his VP in the spot. So I don't know which of the two of them are worse. I honestly cannot stand to listen to either one of them and their rhetoric. Hey, Rita, welcome in. That's Rita's Roost. Y'all, I used to vote. I was an independent for a long time. I used to vote a lot of Democrats into office until Clinton. It started, I was in high school, and we had a mock vote that year to see who would be running for president. And it was Jimmy Carter, and I can't remember who was on the Republican side. But I voted for Jimmy Carter that year as a student. I didn't vote in the actual election, and he won. And my dad asked me why I would vote for him. And I said, well, Dad, he seemed very down to earth. You know, I didn't know nothing about him other than he was a peanut farmer. There's a lot of talk about it being an AI voice talking to the VP and all this other stuff. And it's just craziness. You know, there's been a lot of talk about it not being him. It's actually somebody impersonating him. If they're doing it, they're doing a fairly good job of covering their tracks. He did supposedly came down with COVID. We don't know if that's true or not. He's been out of the limelight. Somebody said that he had a stroke while he had COVID. We don't know that. We can't prove that. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of rumor mill going on. I try not to look at the rumors. I try to look for facts, and I don't always get it right, y'all. I can be deceived just like anybody else. But I do ask God for wisdom and understanding when navigating, especially this political climate we're in. I want to know who's running the government. If he's not able to run for a second term, why is he still considered to be a president? And why haven't they invoked the 25th Amendment and removed him? He's definitely not healthy. I feel like it's elder abuse. I don't feel sorry for the Democrat Party for putting him in place. They made their bed. They have to lie in it. But I do blame his family for continuing to put him out there. And, you know, how many videos have we seen of his wife having to guide him back to his spot or put words in his ear so that he can almost mutter out a perfect sentence. It's just been crazy politics all the way. And y'all, yeah, Jeremy, it was like me. I mean, they took their mask off, and we actually got to see what they were all about. But when Clinton got in office, um, I thought it was really, really funny because, um, he had that affair in the White House in the Oval Office and the red dress and all that. And Hillary walked around like the perfect little wife and says, "Oh, I just forgive him." And, you know, but as a moral person, I couldn't understand how she could forgive him for violating their marriage contract and their marital vows. And so that really got the wheels of my mind started rolling at that point. And I was like, okay, there's something fishy going on here. Why is she so forgiving? Well, she's riding on his coattail for one. She was hungry. She wanted to be president. She's been knocked out of the race I don't know how many times. Um, I know for a fact in the South, we're not as forgiving to our men when they cheat on us. I can tell you some horror stories of things I've seen or heard of. Um, yeah, there was a lot of respect lost at that point. And then the Republicans weren't much better. We've had two Bushes. We've had a Clinton between two Bushes. Y'all pardon the pun, but that's what it was. Um, and the warmongering, wanting to start wars, so they can maintain power and so forth. It's all craziness, if you ask me, in my opinion. Then it was Obama, and that's when my dreams started. I didn't know him from Adam, but yet I was having these dreams, and I wrote them down. I've got them on my Lord is My Shepherd forum ministry that's linked at the top of my About page. You can find it just about everywhere. And you can go in there and look at the dreams and visions and find out about that. I started having dreams, and I haven't written any new dreams in a while because I just don't want to be doing that publicly anymore. But for that time period, God used that time period for me to expose some things. I was seeing all the isms, the socialism, the communism, the fascism, the Nazism, all those things were coming out. And it was coming out through those dreams and visions and things that he was saying in his political speeches and so forth. And he was very eloquent speaking and, very charismatic. And to me, it was a very, very real turnoff because he was portraying himself as something he wasn't. And I knew that there was somebody behind him, behind the curtain, pulling the strings. Hey, Mark at Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, welcome in. Oh, I have nicknames for all of them, Kristen. I promise you I do. And then we had the Pizzagate and the Epstein Island and all that mess, and all that stuff started pouring out. And that's why Trump went into office, I do believe. He wanted to expose that because he was rich. He had money. He had businesses. He didn't have to go into politics at all, folks. But I think he had seen something that he wanted to expose, and I think it had to do with that. Pizzagate and all that, the missing children and all the stuff that was going on Epstein Island and all these flight logs and everything. I think that's really why he went in, and he did expose that. He did what he said he was going to do when he ran as number 45. Everything he said he was going to do, he did. Hey, Herman the Great, welcome in. I'm going to grab my phone real quick because, Herman, I have a hard time finding your channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get you on my list. Okay, you got the number 1 behind your name, so maybe that's what it is. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of videos, short videos of yours, and I'm just going to put a number 1 behind your name on here so I know who to look for. So, I've been watching the politics for years. I remember Nixon, and of course JFK was killed when I was a child, a very young infant child. And, the politics have been really rocky over the years, but we've watched it progress. It's gotten progressively worse as we've gone along. So here we are in 2024, and the elections are heating up. We know that number 45 is running for number 47. We know that number 46 has bowed out, so to speak, but he's still supposedly running the country. I still want to know who's running the country, by the way. And that he has appointed his VP to run in his stead so they don't have to give back the money raised. Isn't that interesting? That she would be able to keep that money. And another thing that was interesting to me was the Obamas are not supporting her. Yeah, big corporations are. Yeah, there's, so many things going on. I can name off names, but I'm not going to. So we find ourselves in this political climate, and it's happening all over the world, y'all. It's not just here. The political climate has been progressively getting worse all over the world. And we're seeing countries like Venezuela, which was a very rich nation, just go from rich to poor, just like that overnight. People starving, literally. They started by trying to take away their guns. Then they started taking away their foods and doing the same thing that they're doing in the United States with all these recalls on food and so forth. Just crazy, crazy stuff. In the meantime, when they were trying to assassinate number 45, there was a bombing in Damascus, Syria. Y'all, that's biblical because the Bible says that Damascus will be wiped off the face of the earth. You can't get any more serious than that. Just crazy, crazy stuff going on. We are definitely living in scrambled eggs politics. I'm telling you, it's just like whatever they can throw at us, they're going to throw at us. Let's have a, what do they call it? A garbage omelet, so to speak. Just craziness. Going back to Damascus, though, the regime embassy was bombed by Israel. And, of course, everybody's up in arms over that. Well, Israel has the right to defend itself. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, every time you go to the store, you see new food recalls. It's crazy. You don't know if you're eating something healthy or something that's going to kill you. And I've said it before, food can be your medicine or it can be your poison. And you choose. You make that choice. Yeah, and the burning down of food producers, the bird flu, culling millions and millions of chickens. They've even recalled eggs in some places. I mean, crazy stuff. I think they're recalling bell peppers right now. I looked briefly at the news feed on my phone this morning. I was like, bell peppers, really? What else are you going to recall? And they're making synthetic meats, these factory lab meats and stuff. And people are talking about that all over the place. Foods that are not actually food. And y'all, they're putting so many synthetic things in your food that your body can't absorb. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking to Chris Todd about. All of these things that are supposed to be good, I said all these vitamins and minerals and stuff that they're putting in on the labels are synthetic. It's not even real. So even our vitamins are not real. You have to find out everything about every product that you pick up. I'm talking about everything from your soap to your food to your vitamins and so forth. It's just craziness. Yeah, Twin Brook Acres, we buy our food from the Amish, and we buy our meat from a local cattle farmer out of Lexington, Tennessee, that has organic meat, and that's the majority of our food. Now, occasionally we have to go to the store and buy stuff. I'm going to figure out how to make lunch meat for my husband, and so he can stop buying lunch meats, because lunch meats have nitrates unless you find one that doesn't have nitrates, which is hard to find. And then I want to learn how to make cheese so we can stop buying cheese. So many things that I want to learn. Yeah, purslane is good. And God planted it. And you know something, y'all, we paid 75 cents a tomato plant from the Amish this year. If I save the seeds from my tomatoes, guess what? Next year, my tomatoes are free. It didn't cost a thing. That's the way God intended. We weren't supposed to pay for our food. God intended us to grow our own food and to eat what He created. In Canada, if you put out a sign, you have eggs, they can come for your chickens. All they have to do is say they have the bird flu and they're destroyed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we need more farmers. Folate is real. Folic acid is not. Yeah, free is always a good price. And God created our food for us to consume. And man has manipulated the food to the point that it's no longer healthy for us to eat. Think about that. It's just craziness. So we're back to the republic or democracy. And I got onto a couple of politicians at David Kustov's for saying democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. We are a republic, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, it's a republic for which we stand. It's not democracy for which we stand. It's a republic. So politicians need to stop saying we're a democracy, and yet we need to be very vocal about that when we go to their events and they say the word democracy, and we need to correct them. No, sir, it is a republic. Read your Declaration of Independence. Read your Pledge of Allegiance. If DNC can replace number 46 against the voters' wishes, they were never about being a democracy. Let that sink in. I saw that this morning and I'm like, yeah, that's it. They are twisting everything to bring in this new world order, and they're going to do it against both sides. Jeremy, he says, orange Fanta in Kenya has 2 ingredients. America is so much junk. Yeah, Coca-Cola in other countries, they use it for pesticide. Yeah, people are trying to get rid of the word God from the pledge. I know, it's crazy. It's just unbelievable what we are going through. So the director of the Secret Service, Director Kimberly Cheadle, has resigned after confirmed 6 days after she was confirmed 6 days after the attempted assassination of 45. Democrat representative, and y'all need to write this name down, Sheila Jackson, was heavily involved in the oversight of the Secret Service, which really raises, a lot of conspiracy theorists about were these Secret Service agents actually Secret Service agents or just somebody that they hired in. The way that they responded and everything. They petitioned to keep Coca-Cola on the food assistance program, even though it's not healthy. I know. It's crazy. At one time, they were saying, no, you can't buy that because it's not healthy for you. Now they want you to buy it because it's not healthy for you. Thank you, Herman. Susan talks politics. I love this strain. Well, y'all, all I can say is we need to pray for our politicians, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on. They all need our prayers. And I made sure that I told Chris Todd, I said, I pray over our legislatures at the state level, our local government, and in Washington every day, because they need that prayer covering. They are up against the devil. I promise you that. They are up against the devil. Then we had DC riots break out. A pro-Palestinian protester stormed the U.S. Capitol yesterday. Insurrection inside the U.S. Capitol in D.C. interrupted official proceedings by attacking Israel's right to defend itself. Are the FBI going to raid homes like they did on January 6th and make a public outcry, court cases, jail time up to 22 years? And these people were in there wearing "I'm a Jew" on their shirts. They had on red shirts saying I am a Jew on their shirts inside the Capitol. But they went from the Capitol to another building, and at some point there they were arrested. But, you know, they arrested people on J6 that weren't even a part of the people going into the Capitol building. Jeremy Heath says 133 million registered voters, 74 million Trump, 81 million Joe. You don't have to be an Einstein to come up with the answer. It was 155 million. Yeah, it's just craziness. There was a global IT outage. I'm not going to name the company. Y'all all know who it is. But Zero Hedge said a historic shift. British newspapers began to warn of perils of a cashless society. Y'all, they've been pushing a cashless society for a while now. Now they're understanding the perils of a cashless society. IT outage. If the world was to go cashless, you would not be able to do any transactions whatsoever, not be able to pay your bills, not be able to eat, not be able to get gas to go places. You wouldn't be able to go to work. It would be so chaotic. Just think of the repercussions. And on the other side of that aisle, if a cashless society was to happen, women that were trying to leave an abusive situation would not be able to get their hands on cash to get out of that situation, so that they wouldn't be able to be followed. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of things on both sides of the aisle. I'm against cashless society. We have so many stores out there, as I said at the beginning, pushing for a cashless society. I've seen food places put up signs in the window. We only take credit cards here. We're no longer taking cash because of robbery issues. Then there was the local Dollar Tree started putting up all this stuff for you to be body scanned as you go into the store. They have to scan your eyes or your hand, or for you to be able to go into the store and purchase anything. And you had to pay at a self-checkout. Sam's Club has, you pay before you even get to the front of the store. You're paying for the items as you pick them up in the store. Just crazy, crazy stuff. Walmart has cameras all over the place. They went to multiple self-checkouts. And I keep asking the lady, they have the little 5 stars up there. I always hit the 1 star. And I keep asking the lady, when am I going to get paid for working for Walmart? They don't understand that. They don't understand that. I don't want a cashless society. That's New World Order. That's biblical. Y'all better believe it. It's biblical. Netanyahu will be speaking before the U.S. Congress today. He's staying at the Watergate Hotel in D.C., where protesters are gathered outside. Current VP, will boycott the speech. Wonder why? And number 45, We'll meet with him on Friday. Which one do you want to be president? I'm not going to go into that because I know that's a no-no on YouTube, but the thoughts there, which one would you go to? Yeah, I tell everybody to keep some cash on hand, even though they're going to try to do away with cash some way, in some shape, way, or form. I think the states need to put a law in place that we will not accept, that cash will always be accepted within our state, that they cannot force you to pay with credit cards or with your hand or with a chip or whatever. That's just my opinion. Yeah, how about Amazon paying with your biomarkers hand? Yeah. Hey, Hilly Bill, my honey. That's my honey bunny, y'all. You're supposed to be at work. On the lighter side, I'm going to break this up for just a minute, and then we're going to get back into a little more stuff that's going on. In my day, I had one toy, and it was a stick. Today, we got kids out there that don't know how to put the Game Boys down. They've got their head in that game, and they don't understand that there's a world happening outside what they're doing. You know what that's called? It's called brainwashing. Now, I like to play games. I play games on my cell phone, but I'm not on it 24/7 or for hours on end playing a game. I play games for mental, to increase my mental capability. But I don't go out there and play the shooting games and all these other fancy games that they got out there. And the gaming system really came into play in the late 70s. We had the little handheld games, football and stuff like that. And then by the 80s, we had Nintendo and all these other things that came out. And, of course, we had Pac-Man, and we had the stores with all the game machines, and the arcades with all that prior to. I think it's all right to have fun. I think it's fun to play games, and I like board games and stuff with family. But when you got children sitting in front of that game all day long and they don't do anything but that and eat and sleep, there's something definitely wrong. Make America's families prosper again. Let our families become families again, and bring them back together and have family time and dinner around the kitchen table on Sundays and things like that. Have some apple pie, for God's sake, and eat a hot dog. We need to bring all of that back. My last piece of news, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I like hearing this stuff, and I like watching the hand of God move across our nation. But this is out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Official stance for God. The city's proposal would recognize God as creator and king of all glory, has the authority to judge and to bless nations and states. It passed on the Capitol earlier this week. A resolution is not a law, but a declaration. It's similar to the Declaration of Prayer that was given by John Adams in 1799. Unbelievable. Hey, Nancy, welcome in. Let me get you on my list. And Alfonso. I'm going to do our Bible reading, and let me get my Bible reading up here. If we have cashless society, the system goes down like it did, you're at the mercy of supplies. And I said the next thing they're going to do is they're going to crash the economy. And then after that, they're going to crash our grids, our power grids and stuff. I think all of this is pre-planned. I'm so glad that you're gardening this year, Alfonso. Alfonso doesn't let his disabilities hold him back. He is out there doing gardening. So our reading is going to be Isaiah 59, 1 through 4. I read out of the King James Version. That's the Bible that I was raised on, so that's the Bible that I read. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, and your tongue have muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. If that doesn't sum up our political climate, I don't know what else does. They have blood on their hands, literally blood on their hands for what they are doing. And we need to know that God's hand is still not shortened. He still is in control. He still sits on his throne. He still controls governments and states. Y'all, get into the Word of God and learn what it says. There's so many hidden gems in the Word of God. You just would not believe what you're going to find. I'm going to open up the panel, and we can talk politics, or we can talk about gardening, but we're going to keep it clean. Christy said that's the verse that God gave me many years ago before I gave my heart to the Lord. Exactly. God is so wonderful, y'all. I cannot tell you the many blessings that he's placed upon me and my life. And just as that bullet missed number 45 because he turned his head, and I do believe God moved him out of the way. He allowed him to be injured, but he moved him out of the way. And the man behind him took that bullet. It wasn't his time, but it was that man's time, And I feel for the family. I feel for the ones that are injured. And I especially pray a hedge of protection around our number 45, his family, the VP runner, J.D. Vance, and his family. I pray a hedge of protection around them. I pray for everybody in Congress, from the president all the way down to our local government. I pray that God will remove the enemy within, that we can return and restore our nation rightfully to its place, and not only for us, but around the world, because what we're seeing is going to lead to what the book of Revelations talks about, what Ezekiel 38 and 39 talk about. And we need to be praying for the people of Damascus, because God's word says that they will be exterminated from the face of the earth. Oh, I dropped my book, and I got dogs on my lap. Hush. Hey, MT Homestead, welcome in. Told y'all it was going to be hot in here today, but we got the air conditioner on. If you're just coming in and you didn't get to see the whole live, go back and rewatch it. There's a lot of great information in here today. I don't bring this all the time. You can relate about the dogs being on top of you. Yes, the flag got tangled up and made a shape of an angel above the podium. Absolutely. God is in control. We saw the hand of God that day. We've seen the hand of God moving across our nation. Yes, paying attention, and I've been saying that for years. Watch Damascus. There's other places too that talks about being exterminated in the Bible. Yeah, I got my little helpers up here today, honey. Yes, mine get into things when I live stream. Yeah. I have to make sure that they can get in and out while I'm on my live, and of course the cat has to get locked up. But that's just another episode. All right, I'm going to drop the link. If you're interested in being on panel today, now is your time to shine. I do require you to show your face to me, and I have to know your name and your channel name in the basement if I don't recognize you. Jeremy Heath says the Bible says, fear not in the Bible 365 times for a reason. My trust is in God. I don't trust government. I don't trust man. I do believe that God puts his hand on certain people, though. He can use anybody, good or bad, to do his will. Herman the Great says, people just need to educate themselves, but the government doesn't want us to be educated. They want us to be brainwashed. Absolutely. I am just so excited about this election cycle. It's going to be another hot scorcher one. I'm pretty sure. We thought the last one was bad. This one's going to be even more bad, and we're going to have to get our popcorn on and our tinfoil hats, I think. We have Alfonso in the basement.
Hey, Susan, how are you?
Hey, Alfonso. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hadn't seen you in a while, my friend.
I know. This Saturday I'm doing
I need you to
Friday.
turn up your sound a little bit.
All right, let me see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clear now?
A little better, but your
Check.
sound's
Check.
still low.
Yeah, let me see. All right, how about now? Because I don't want to blow your ears off.
You're good.
Yeah, if I would blow someone's ears off and someone's live.
Let me see. It might be my sound on my end. That's probably why I wasn't hearing you great. Okay. You
How
should
about
be
now?
good. You're good.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you. Friday is July 26th, which is that be the 34th anniversary of the America with Disability Act, and Saturday night I'm gonna do a celebration, a live celebration, 7:30
Yeah.
Mountain Time, which is basically be our version of Independence Day.
Right.
So we call that Disability Independence Day.
Awesome. Awesome. I don't think I'll be able to come up on panel because it's at night, but I will try to be there in
Right,
the chat
right.
to support you because I tell you what, you're an inspiration to everybody that
Yeah,
has a
and I want to
disability.
bring some people up, those who have disability, so that they could talk about their stories. Like how has ADA impacted their lives and all that. And I
Right.
think it's important that we should recognize ADA, like America with Disability Act.
Yeah. Hey, Lady Sky, welcome in.
Like it might be some type of political thing, but but this is something that we should all care about. AD, America with Disability Act, accessibility.
All people are important. All people are important. I've been saying that for years. When we had the Black Lives Matters
Yeah,
stuff going on, and I was saying that, and I was getting bombarded with, "No, you're wrong," blah 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 blah, and I'm like, all people are important. The God's word says we're all important because He sent His Son for everyone,
right,
not for just one group. He
right,
sent for everyone, and so all people are important. And I personally love people with disabilities. I've been around them all my life. One of my earliest friends was in a wheelchair and couldn't walk well,
right.
and she learned how to walk. I got her out of the wheelchair,
Wow.
and I was just a kid, and I got her in my backyard, and I said, "You can walk. I believe you can walk. Do you believe you can walk?" And she shook her head, and I got her up out of the wheelchair, and she took her first steps. And then I kept working with her, and of course she was bent over. She couldn't straighten up because she'd been in that wheelchair since she was a baby. But she
Right.
would not stay in that wheelchair after that. She got home and she walked across the room, and they like to have fell out in the floor. They couldn't believe it. God
Wow.
can heal a person. You just have to have the faith that it's going to take place.
Right. Yeah. Some people are in wheelchair because for many reasons.
Right.
Whether because of injury, disabling condition, whatever. But
Yeah. I think she had cerebral palsy or something. I can't
yeah,
remember. She didn't talk well. Her words were slurred and everything.
Right.
She was older than me, but she still played with dolls. Um, and I just became her friend. She was right across the street from me. And so I had another friend in school that was deaf when I was little. And so I learned sign language so I could talk to her.
Right.
And I had a friend in college that had a disability, and I would write her notes for her because she couldn't write.
Right.
Smart as a whip, though. She could absorb everything.
Right. Oh
So,
yeah. With the right accommodation, I could tell you, you could get through. Having
yeah,
the right accommodation in place. Because I tell you, when I was in college, I struggled through. It took me, so I had to work 3 times harder than a regular person what it takes to get through college.
yeah,
Because I had to get my accommodation set up every semester for
yeah.
each class.
Say, my daughter had asthma, and she had it really bad. And her classes were spread on three different floors in the school. And she would have to go from the first floor to the third floor, back down to the first floor to the second floor, and back and forth. And I went into the school and I said, she's just, this is a disability, and you're going to have to accommodate her, and you're going to have to hold all her classes on the first floor. And they were like, oh, we can't do that, blah, 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 blah. And I said, yes, you can. And I pulled out the American Disabilities Act and I said, by this law, you have to have an elevator in this school to accommodate her to get to her classes.
Oh, let me tell you, when I was in high school, they had an elevator, but they didn't. It was only it was off limits to students. Only faculty and staff could use it.
Yeah.
If a student needs to use it, student had to pay 50 cents toll.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. Hey, Ann, welcome in.
Like we had to pay a toll to use the elevator.
That's Ann Haynes. She says, I'm sitting right under the air conditioner, refuse to move for anything or anyone. I agree. It's hot outside. But yeah, the Disabilities Act was in place because people with disabilities were being left behind in
Yes.
schools. They were not getting the education that they deserved.
Right.
They were not treated equally. They were not able to hold jobs. Many,
Right.
many different things were happening. My ex-husband's youngest sister had Down syndrome, well, has Down syndrome. Her parents were told she would never live past the age of 18, and she's in her 40s now. And I thank God every day that she's still alive.
Wow. If I tell you what, when I was in New Mexico, my day program, because this was when I was in college through the Commission for the Blind, I put on the day program so I could get all the extra help that I need with homework, with my academic, with my projects, like especially for my photography. That was a very hard class. Like I had to work really hard, do a lot of traveling. Got to do a lot of travel for my photography class, and we had to go out in the field and shoot photos. We had to work really hard on it, and I made it out with an A+. I made it to college, all the way to college with straight A's.
Yeah. Hey, girl, dad, and Rudy, welcome in.
But I tell you what, one of the staff in my day program was tell me, because in my final year, my final semester, I did a project called Disability Culture. I did a whole exhibit at my day program center. For
Right,
invited a lot of agencies to come in and display their booths and all that.
right.
Put all that together and put about the history of ADA and all that. And let me tell you, my instructor found it very depressing. She did not like the project I did after all.
Yep. There's so many things that come against us, though, Alfonso, whether we have a disability or not. It's just harder on people with a disability to kind
Yeah.
of navigate
Yeah,
through.
she found it very depressing after reading all the, like, the exhibits and all that, but the history, she found it very depressing.
Thank you for coming in, Twin Brook Acres. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Alfonso is very inspiring. Harmon the Great says he is crying right now because of how wonderful you are. God bless you.
Wow.
Yeah, you touch a lot of people's lives you don't even know.
Wow, I didn't know.
You've touched my life, you've touched many other people's lives. So I'm always grateful for any time I get to spend with you.
Wow. Yeah, like I say, and one thing I'm very grateful. Like one thing that I really miss about New Mexico, I've been told that that was the only free state. When '88 passed, they closed all the institutions in New Mexico,
Wow.
which means they had to keep those individuals free in the community and with community-based support services.
Yeah. Storyteller Donnie's in the house. Welcome in.
Yeah,
What is
so they had to keep those individuals free in the community, and
right?
that's what I like about New Mexico and Colorado and all the other states. Here in Colorado, I'm a high risk. When I first came up here, my VR counselor up here didn't want to help me. He said I was a high risk individual. That my only option was working for Goodwill, 22 cents an hour, or maybe being institutionalized because they still do that here in Colorado.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, Goodwill does a lot of good, but then there are things that they do that is just totally off the cuff wrong.
No, 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 not Goodwill. I tell you what, I'm glad I don't work for Goodwill. I'm still working for ARC. I've been there 5 years already, and I tell you what, from what I'm hearing about Goodwill, they exploit people with disabilities. Like if you have a disability, your pay depends how severe you are. Blindness is one of the most severe disabilities you could have.
Yeah. Hey, Joy,
So,
welcome in. Smoky Mountain Blessed.
so if you're blind, you're gonna the lowest you're gonna earn is like 22 cents an hour
Yeah,
working for Goodwill,
that's
and
crazy.
you could be doing any job that you're capable of doing. Like
No, ma'am.
you could be a cashier and you're blind. Guess what? They're gonna pay you
Here,
22 cents an hour, no matter how well you do the job or not.
come over here if you want to get up here. Come on. Here comes my buddies. Come on. The other one's under the covers. Come on. Come on. She's got to make up her mind. Come on.
So So what I found out through the NFB here, Colorado National Federation for the Blind, the Denver chapter, we had one individual who got a job 5 years ago at Goodwill after graduating from the Center for the Blind,
Yep.
and when after his first paycheck, he only got $1.50 because he was working full time. After 3 weeks, and he was being paid well below the minimum wage.
Right. Welcome in. Nature Loves ASMR. That's Joy. That's her other channel. She's still trying to decide on the name, I think. And Coco has decided she's going to lay behind me on the pillows. One of the things, we've had friends too that were blind, but one of the things I find with people that are blind or have a disability
Right,
is that some of your other sensories become so much sharper.
right,
Like you are musically inclined, you play everything by ear.
right.
So God gives you another gift. He may take away the eyesight, but He's given you another gift. And I always look at people and try to find their gift. And it doesn't matter if you're disabled or not, we all have a gift.
Right. Yeah, so like I said, it's just like, and unfortunately, we still have problem with discrimination going on nationwide. Where they refuse to accommodate,
Right.
even in the schools.
Yeah. The schools, that's another issue. And I wanted to bring this up off the topic, but one of the things I talked to Chris Todd about, our representative, was we needed to bring back the home economics class in our school system. And I also talked to him about bringing the Bible in as a history book in our school system, like Oklahoma did. So, but I also talked to him about, the disabilities and children with disabilities. Those programs have been cut in Tennessee. and they don't have special ed classes like they used to have. And I think they need to bring them back as well.
Oh my God. I thought that they're not supposed to cut the special education program.
You know, they did. My oldest grandson was would have been in a special education class, and they were putting him in with the mainstream students, and he was falling behind because he you couldn't sit him down and let him concentrate on anything.
Right.
He needed that one-on-one
Support. Yeah.
support, and he wasn't getting that. And he was being ridiculed in the class in front of the other students and all kinds of crazy stuff. We pulled him out of school and homeschooled him after that. And he did get, I think he got through all 12 years, if I'm correct, before he moved out of his parents' house. But he has schizophrenia, and he's my step grandson, but I love him like he's mine. He's been in our life all
Right.
these years. Um, and I pray for him because schizophrenia is another disease that is little understood, but it affects the mind. And while I was in college, one of the people that I was tutoring with and working with was a girl that had multiple personalities,
Right.
and they need to be understood as well, and they need to be loved. But she was afraid to love somebody or be loved, and she had very few friends. So I became her friend, and I had to learn how to deal with her when she would go into these episodes. And so her therapist would actually send me audio tapes of her different personalities and explain at the end of the tape how I was to react to that. And that
Right.
really helped build a relationship, and I was so thankful for that and that she was in that program. Um, People with schizophrenia often become suicidal, and that's, or it's they self hurt,
Self harm. Yes.
self harm. They very rarely lash out at somebody else, but they are capable of hurting somebody else, and so we have to be cautious of that. And because of that experience with her, we're able to deal with my grandson.
Wow. Wow, that's good. In New Mexico, when I was in the day program, around my last semester of college, things were changing with the state where they're putting a lot of pressure on the staff, where there were once like usually supposed to be like one-on-one support, like one kid per staff, but now because they're being shorthanded, the state were asking agency to handle 5, 6 kids per staff.
Right.
And that got difficult because we had one instance where we had one kid. We were on our way going to do a project for my class. We were going from Cruces all the way to Silver City, New Mexico, and one of those kids opened the door while we were on the interstate.
We're so glad that you're here, Jeremy. We appreciate you being here. He says, I am so happy that Joy and Donnie brought me here a while back. We are very, very grateful that you're here as well.
And what happened? One kid opened the door while we were on the freeway.
What's the link? Are you wanting to drop your link, Herman? It's the word hillbilly. I'm not sure what link you're talking about. I do want to mention before we get any further that I'm going to be on It's All About Biology with Ken, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Central time, um, this coming Friday. So I'm going to be on another live. The panel link. Okay. Let me grab that for you. So if y'all want to come over and watch that, we'll probably be talking gardening. It should be popping up here in a moment. There it goes. Um, so you have lived all your life blind, is that right?
Yes, yes, due to premature birth.
Premature birth. See,
Yes.
my third grandson was born premature. Uh, Hunter was born premature, and he has some health issues as well, but he thankfully he can see. But they thought he was going to be blind and not able to hear. They literally thought that because of his weight and everything that he went through. And see,
Yeah,
God is so good.
because when I was, from what I've been told, I got like, I just recently pulled copies of my neurological psychological report from the Commission for the Blind that they sent me, and yeah, it showed that I was born premature birth and the reason why my mom was in an accident, and explained everything, and like weighted 1 pound and all that.
You only weighed a pound. Wow.
Yeah,
So you're a miracle. You're a miracle baby, and God is using you in a mighty way to reach other people.
yeah,
He
five
plays,
5 months preemie.
yeah, he plays a lot of gospel music on his channel. He's bilingual. You've got how many degrees now?
I got I got one certificate from NMSU Duniana, then I got like two or three from ARC
Yeah,
University from the thrift store that I work for. It's more it's just like certificates for participating in the classes
right.
and the events.
You also don't you have a doctorate in something? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
doctorates. It's just general education courses that through the ARC, because from what they believe that special need kids are not able to go to a regular college because behavior related issues, because we're high risk getting kicked out of college because behavior related
Uh,
to disability. If you go to a regular college and you have disability related behavior, they're just gonna want to kick you out.
hey, Herman.
Good morning, Susan. How are you?
Good
I'm
morning.
good. How are you? I'm going to change my setup here so we can get everybody's face in there. I didn't want that one. Let's see if we can go this way.
Good morning, Alfonso. How
Good
are you,
morning.
man?
I'm good, and
That's
you?
better.
You know, Susan, Alfonso has me thinking about my days in college when I was a strong advocate, and I still am, for disabilities of all kinds, disabled students. We had a club in high school, and our advisor wanted to call it the Disabled Students Club. And I said, no, we can't call it the Disabled Students Club. That's
Call it
filthy.
the Accessibility Club.
Exactly. Well, you know what we called it, Alfonso? We called it Students with Abilities Society. We wanted to let every student know, no matter what, if they have disabilities, that they have abilities, that they have the capability to do good in the world, and to do whatever they want to do, whatever they set their minds to. We didn't want to insult anybody. I was the vice president of that club for about 2 years, and it was the best time of my life, and I really enjoyed it. So it's great to have you up here, Alfonso. I'm so happy to meet you. I just joined your channel today. By the way, you're under no obligation to join my channel if I join your channel, everybody. So
Right.
that's the rule. So don't worry
Yeah.
about that. But I look forward to your content,
Yeah.
Alfonso.
Saturday I'm gonna do a special live talk about ADA celebration.
Okay,
I'm gonna
sounds
do a
good.
special. I'm gonna do a special live, in celebration of ADA, because it could be the 34th anniversary of the American with Disability when it passed July 26th. But I'm gonna do it the day after because Friday's kind of hard for me.
No, of course, of course.
I want to welcome in Jamie's Country Living. Y'all be praying for her. She said it's bad here. Her daughter said Route 40 is getting flooded. So they're getting drenched in rain, I'm gathering. So we'll be praying for you, Jamie, and your daughter especially. Indiana Backyard Gardener, welcome in. That's Miss Adrian.
Yeah, but my college day was difficult,
Yeah.
because I had one instructor who literally discriminated against me because he didn't want to accommodate me. Like he moved the class from one campus to the other in the middle of the semester
Wow.
without permission from the school.
Oh
It was
boy.
even worse because I just find that, and that's how I find out because I just went to the front desk of the administration office to ask for directions, and that's how I found this out that he moved without permission.
Wow.
And then as
Wow.
time went on that semester, because it caused a big old hardship for me that spring semester of 2016 where he moved the class in the middle of the semester because as soon as I got the email saying that we're moving, I just sent it to the accessibility office. Next day, I get a call back from them, and they tell me this is unusual that your instructor moved the class. Like he moved without permission. Like he just moved just like that.
I had an instructor that didn't like women, and he was tenured in college. And I went to the dean and I said, he's already told me that I'm going to get an F for this course. Is there any way I can switch places? And so they put somebody in the room, and they heard him talking down to the women in the classroom. He got reprimanded. They couldn't remove him, but he got reprimanded for it because I went to the dean. I was bold about it, and I said, this isn't right. I had another instructor that it was a mathematical business class, and he wanted us to use the little triangle to do algebra math problems.
Right.
I couldn't figure it out, and I would go to the tutors, and the tutors would show me algebraically how to do it, and I would turn it in that way, and he put a big fat F on the top of it. So I went to the dean with that, and I said, well, is the answer's not right? He said, no, the answer is correct. I said, well, then it's just the fact that I can't comprehend his method with the triangle. And so they had to call him in and tell him that, if they get the answer right on the paper, you can't write an F on there.
Wow.
Discrimination happens across the board.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, big time. Because when I was, and there was my audio production class that I was taking with this instructor, and he moved the classroom and hoping to get rid of me.
Yeah.
He knew that I can't see very well, and then I had to drop my other class that I had originally planned in the other campus, and I had to switch my other class just to be on one campus. By the time I was able to do that, I was already struggling. My communication was a big struggle because my advisor put me in the wrong communication class.
I'm laughing at Ann. She's messing with Nightbot.
I know, I am too. I'm trying to just stop laughing. Yeah,
And then not only that, then as time went on with the semester with the audio production class, this instructor would tell me, hey, you tell me you need to stand back, and but I was going like this with my video magnifier and whatever, and then he tell me, oh, well, if you can't see, that's your problem, not mine. And then not only that, and then we would do a lot of hands-on where how to set up the live sound, set up the mic stand, and then man, he tell me, you make me nervous. If you were working with me out in the field as a stage crew and you knock down a $7,000, $10,000 guitar, $7,000 amp, you're gonna get murdered. You know why? Because I will have to give them your address and all that information, and they'll come and hunt you down.
I had one professor in college that had disabilities, and he shook all the time. And he was actually the best professor at that college. So don't ever think that your disability is going to hold you back.
Right.
Because God, like I said, God has got his hand on you. There's going to be great things coming from you. And people love you, Alfonso.
Yeah.
Just the way you are.
Yeah. And not only that, I had that instructor, every time it comes to my exams or quiz or whatever, like he refused to accommodate me. Like he told me like I need these 2 week notice. Like he would just give them last minute, and I can't do that. I need 2 week notice. I could get my testing form to the accessibility office, and then I got the accessibility office on him a few times. He threatened me with retaliation that if I were to ever go back to them again, I was gonna get it with him.
Yeah. I mean,
and then he tell me, no, you're too smart. You don't need those people from the accessibility office. Those are for dumb people that don't know nothing. Like he'll tell me that.
Anne's still messing with the Nightbot. I'm sorry, Alfonso. She said, "Did I break the rules, Nightbot? I've removed all Nightbot's rules." You didn't break them, I did.
Alfonso, I have to say something here. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt Susan. I think you were about to say something. But anyway, Alfonso, I already love you, man. I just met you today. So I'm already on your side. If you need anything, man, I'll give you ways to contact me if you need to. And I'm on your side, man.
Right.
Don't let anyone bring you down, bro. Don't let anyone bring you down. God, like Susan said, God has you in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Created you special. You are special. When you were saying earlier, it's for regular people, you are a regular person, Alfonso.
Right.
I don't look at you like you have a disability. I look at you.
Yeah, I don't look at people different either. I'm just.
Yeah, in this instructor, he was telling my note taker assistant that either any future semester you're gonna have future student with disability just happen to force him to withdraw from his class because he didn't want to work with them. And I told him that to the accessibility office staff. Oh boy, like they were not happy with him.
No, of course. Yeah.
And he did not want to accommodate me for my final exam. Like he didn't want to give me a set date.
Yeah, college was really hard anyway. Anybody that's gone through college, it's
Yeah,
been hard. Um, you got professors out there that they have a very narrow view of the world and in
Yeah.
which they live. And unfortunately, if you don't fit in that view, they're going to kind of push you to the side. And it don't matter if you're black, white, red, purple, green, blue, or blind or whatever. They're just in that narrow view, and you have to inform them that, hey, I'm in that viewpoint too, and so you're going to have to deal with me. And the way you do that is you go to the dean and you speak your concerns to the dean. Um, whatever school you're in. That was my experience with college, and I went to college late because I was 28 when I started college, so I
ooh,
was only 10 years out of school,
I was
and
like
I had to
30, 31 or 32 when I was in college.
yeah, I had to learn how to take notes again and do all that stuff again, and I still came out with I think it was a 3.9 average when I graduated.
Yeah,
So I did very well, even though I had a couple of courses I had to take over again that I absolutely could not wrap my brain around. One of them
yeah,
was abnormal psychology. I took abnormal psychology, and I literally could diagnose everybody in my town with something. It was so funny, but I couldn't pass the course because when he would give the test, it was so abstract, my brain couldn't wrap around it.
right. Like they word the test so differently that in a way to to get them to trick you.
And so I took it again in the summertime. I had my notes already. Took it again in the summertime, and I asked him, I said, what do I need to do to pass this course? And he says, just listen. And so I listened again. Really didn't get anything out of it the second time, but when I took the test, I got a C plus, which I was super excited about because he wouldn't give C plus to anybody. So I think it was just the fact that I took it again and I pushed myself to be there. And I was so bored in that class. I literally was bored stiff in that class. That was part of the problem. And then you have another professor that was really good, was my earth science professor. And just the tone of his voice and the way he spoke, when I sit down to take the test, it was like his words were right there and I was writing them down on the paper as he spoke them. So you have good teachers and you have bad teachers.
Right. Yeah, but until this instructor I had from audio production, it was really bad. Like he threatened me with retaliation for going to the accessibility office and stuff like that because I already got the staff in the accessibility office on his butt and at the end of the semester when it came to my final exam, he had I took in my testing form and I need to know the date and I brought you the testing form and you know what he did with my testing form? He took it, tore it up and crumbled it. And I told him not to ever go back to the accessibility office.
That's crazy. People are just mean.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what position they're in, they're just mean and childish. And that was a childish act by that professor, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
So I immediately went back to the accessibility office. I left the class. I went back, explained my situation. Boy, they were not happy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had,
I had to get, we got the vice president of student services involved
yeah,
in this issue. And, and after that semester, my final exam did not go through after all. And they still had to give me an A for that class.
yeah, they should have gotten fired for that, Nora, but they're
Well,
team,
he ended up getting fired because I went through the whole complaint process
right?
of discrimination, and what happened was he did not respond to the complaint. He left the state.
Yeah, Jeremy Heath posted, both my kids are graduating this year, masters in law and in high school. Congratulations. That's an accomplishment for a parent when their children graduate anything. But that is really an accomplishment when they
Yeah.
graduate with a master's.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, we have.
thankfully, he's gone. Because when it came back to me, one thing they asked me from the Office of Institutional Equity, they want because they saw my emails that I kept track of with that professor, and the one thing they wanted to know, like, how did he go from this, like, moving the classroom, like, from one campus to the other campus. And I explained what actually happened when he sent me that email, like, and how did you find out? Because we don't see that he got permission.
Right,
Because if that's the case, he didn't get permission, he ain't coming back.
right. Well, we have overstepped our hour and a half. Do y'all want to go a few more minutes?
Sure,
Yeah, it's up to you, Susan. I'm up for it. What about you?
I'm up for it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. It's your channel, but
Yeah.
I appreciate you for having us on today.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like I said,
so Herman,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about your channel.
Well, it's hard to really explain what I do on my channel. I do a lot of stuff. I do like different vlogs, different short videos, and just different live streams. I restarted my channel for the 15th time.
Yeah.
Well, not 15th, but at least 3 or 4. But this is it. I'm not going to go away again this time, and I promise that. But I just do a variety of things. I've been doing a lot of short videos and just really having a lot of fun. Not really worrying about the numbers, how many people are watching, how many subscribers I have. Just do a dance. I don't think anyone wants to see that, but yeah, here, I'll do it. Here. Okay, here we
There
go.
you go.
Alfonso, you got to dance with me, bro. Come on.
okay.
Start
I can
dancing.
play a tune and you can dance.
Okay, hey, please do. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Let it go.
Oh, we're not stopping. Party don't stop here on Season Kill the Chicken Rocket.
Do chicken dance. Do chicken dance. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Rocket. We're gonna do the Carlton.
Did you do number 45? That was great. Yeah, that made my day.
That was wonderful. Wow.
Thank you.
That was a perfect ending. I tell you, that's a perfect ending for all this political heat we're in.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Mic dropped, all right.
So
This
mic
is
drop.
quality entertainment, I agree.
It is.
Drop the mic. Yeah, well, I don't drop my mic. My microphones are expensive.
Yeah, don't do that, Alfonso. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't drop your microphone.
Yeah,
Here.
I got these like $60 microphones here,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't drop that. Don't drop that. Yeah, that's really.
And I had these for over 10 years. I tell you what, I had these for over 10 years and I got them like $60 each.
Oh my gosh! Everyone in the chat is loving my dancing. I love it. Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is my first time coming up here on the panel, and I appreciate you having me up here, Susan.
Well, I hope you'll come back and be a panel guest one day, and we can just sit here and chat.
Yeah, I plan to. I plan to definitely do that. We should definitely plan.
Yeah, just shoot me an email and remind me, and we'll get you scheduled. Anybody that's out there that wants to be on panel, all you have to do is shoot me an email. We'll get it scheduled, and you can come up and introduce your channel. We can just chat. I like to chat, or I can be a guest on your live if it's Monday through Friday during the day, because I don't do weekends and I don't do nights.
Right.
Hubby's home. We live in a double wide mobile home. There is no sound barriers in this house whatsoever. So I give him the freedom to do what he wants to do when he's off work. Um, it has been so much fun. Hey, Papa Smurf, welcome in. We got people still coming in, y'all. This is great.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Well,
nice, lighthearted way to end the day.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll
like
be
it,
doing.
Goofy.
So I'll be doing a live Saturday evening celebrating ADA. So Herman, if I'd like to get you up, so you could talk about
Yeah.
accessibility.
I'm always available. I'm available most time. Where are you at, Alfonso?
Colorado. I'm originally from New
Oh, you're
Mexico.
okay. You're about an hour ahead of me. Then you're Mountain Time. Okay. So I'm
Mountain
just
time.
trying to figure out where you are. So
Yeah, Mountain time. Yeah,
let
I'm
me
in
know.
Colorado.
Yeah, I love coming up on panels, especially lighthearted ones. Not obviously when we get into the serious topics like politics, it kind of gets a little iffy for me because we all have our opinions,
Right.
so we got to be careful with
Right.
that.
Well,
You
Gotta be careful, but
well,
I,
80 talking about ADA, that it is kind of some way political, but
Yeah, no, well, they need to do a better job of doing the Americans with Disabilities Act.
yeah,
They need to
that's
work
the
that.
only political talk that I allow. Is for
Yeah,
about ADA, that's the only politics I allow on my channel.
yeah, no, definitely. Well, I'm available Monday through Sunday, but Saturdays and Sundays are a little iffy though.
Saturdays,
I mean, Saturday mornings I have a lot of stuff to do on Saturdays, but I
yeah,
can.
it's gonna be in the evening.
Okay, yeah, I probably can do the
and,
evening.
and one of my people dropped Alfonso's link. One of my moderators, go grab his link real quick. Let's see.
Yes, I am friends with Nora. Everybody, that is confirmed. And she said
Right.
Herman is my friend, by the way. Yes, we are. Nora and I have been friends for years. So
Let's see. If I can find Alfonso on here, I can drop the link.
I don't know, Nora. You might have to competition. Alfonso might be my new really good friend. So
Yeah.
you got to be careful with that. Now you're a good guy. You're a good guy. So if you don't mind me asking just for a second here, Susan, we don't have to go too far on this, but what is your specific disability? Is it legal blindness or what?
Legally blind, yeah,
Okay, I've been trying to
and then
get over
I
that.
have multiple disabilities. One of them is
Okay.
I know my primary blindness, and then I have learning developmental behavior disorder.
Right. Okay. I'm just trying to get a gauge on
Yeah,
your.
yeah, I do have like disability related behavior issues.
Well, you're too cool. Is that what the problem is? You're
Too
too
friendly,
awesome.
too
You're
friendly,
you're too awesome. That's what it is,
too
Alfonso.
friendly with everybody.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being too friendly.
Like
May God bless you.
sometimes I need to learn to keep my hands to myself. Sometimes.
Oh, well, I know. That's
Thank
all
you,
right.
Pete, for dropping that. I appreciate that.
You'll learn that. Don't worry about that, Alfonso. It's okay.
Yeah, like
You're good now. You're a good guy.
I was definitely looking for it. I was like, where is that at?
If I was there, Alfonso, I'd be giving you a huge hug right now. So,
yeah,
in fact,
yeah,
no,
but
I'm gonna give you a hug over the internet. Here.
yeah,
Bear hugs. Yay.
Yeah.
We like bear
Bro.
hugs.
yeah, like here you can't do that. Normally you
We
can't
like
do that here in
virtual
Colorado.
hugs too.
You can't give hugs here in Colorado normally.
No, oh wow.
That's the bad part. And New Mexico,
In Colorado, it's drugs, not hugs. But anyway, sorry. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Same
Colorado.
in California though too. So
Yeah, I wasn't here by choice. I tell you that I wasn't here in
sorry,
Colorado by
Ann.
choice.
Oh, I hit it.
Ann said you hit her in the face, Herman.
I'm so sorry. It won't. It will happen again, Ann. Oh, someone drop Ann. Can someone drop Ann's link too? Because I can't get to her channel. If you can,
Wow.
So I'm not a mod, so I can't click on the three dots. So
Well, we'll have to make you a mod, won't we?
Yeah, but
you
so
don't have to make me a mod. That was not my demand. That was not an official
We'll find you
demand.
on here, Herman. You're going to be a mod now.
Oh, if you want to make me, oh, she
I
did
take
that.
volunteers all the time.
Okay, I'll come in whenever I can. Oh, there she dropped her link. Oh, I'm gonna subscribe to her channel. Oh wait a minute. Are we allowed to
Susan,
do
do you have a big wrench? A big wrench that I could borrow?
A big wrench.
Yeah.
Not handy.
But I need to open my Powerade bottle, my Gatorade, because the lids are so tight
I
sealed. You
know. I can't get up. And the little water bottle tops, they're so
Yeah.
small, you can't get your
Oh,
hands on them.
I need a big wrench.
I thought he was saying ranch at first. That's why I was sorry, Alfonso. I thought you were saying ranch. Okay, ranch. Yes. Okay, I got you. Alfonso, I'm an old man. My hearing's not the best.
That's okay.
You don't look old, Herman.
No, I'm only 38, but I feel old.
I'm 40.
You're just y'all are babies. Y'all are old enough to be my kids, okay?
You don't look a day past 80, Susan.
I don't look a day past 80, thank you.
Isn't that the phrase that you're supposed to
Yeah.
use?
Yep.
At first I thought I was older than Susan.
You are older.
He's a baby. You're right, Nora. He's just a baby.
When I first met Susan, I thought I was older than her.
Oh yeah. Well, you are older than Susan. Susan's only 25.
Yeah, Susan. Yeah, she's
I've
about
been 25 for about 40 years now.
You know what's weird around my community here where I live? There's a Orthodox theological seminary that I'm not a part of it, but I know a lot of the students. I'm part of the community, the Orthodox community here, and all the students are at least 18 to 20 years younger than me. That makes me feel so old. So they call me Old Man Herman. That's their nickname for me. They call me Old Man Herman.
Oh, Lord.
And so, yeah, and so I actually pranked one of the students before he became a student, and I made him think that I was Old Man Herman, and I was so old. I even had my cowboy hat on that someone got for me, and it was really awesome. Still, of course, hey, someone has to, Nora. I flirt with all. I flirt with all the women except, well, not the married ones. Sorry, I meant to say. Never mind. Shovel. Hold on, let me get the shovel out real quick. I'm just going to bury myself. But anyway,
Before you do that, Alfonso, they sell the can bottle openers that have the handles like a can opener. They're retro items, but I make sure there are modern styles.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Try to get back into your chat here. It kicked me out of your chat.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I get kicked out on my cell phone where the chat just freezes up and I can't follow it anymore because usually it's faster than StreamYard, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, y'all drop them links because we've had so many people in here today. I'm really excited. We've had 50 people come through chat today.
Wow.
Woohoo! I want to get
normally I'll be out on the trail walking, but the way it is right now, there's so much smoke in the air.
Yeah. Y'all got forest fires going on there?
Well, from other states, but it's bringing all the smoke into Colorado,
Yeah, we'll be getting it next then. We're in that downward wind.
So there's all the wildfire from Canada that's sending all the smoke down here. Because we're pretty close to Canada.
Yeah. We had a huge fire for the last almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And they were finally able to put it out. We were threatened with evacuation here in our town. It's called the Shelley Fire. It's a fire that's burning over 15,000 acres, but now thank God we had rain last week, and it was able to be subsided with the rain, and now it's over half contained. So thank God,
Yeah. Hey, Tuck, are you without power? Yeah, Christy, I remember when 40 was ancient, but now my kids are in their 40s. Mine too. I didn't think I was going to live past 2000, y'all.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I love Jeremy Heath's profile picture. It's Mr. Rogers flipping people off, but he was doing a song.
Yeah.
See, Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, is the only one who can wholesomely flip somebody off. I love it.
Yep.
I won't do it on your stream, but he was doing the song "Tall Man." Whereas "Tall Man" with the kids, and "Tall Man" is the middle finger, and he was literally flipping the kids off. It was hilarious. But the funny part about that song, Susan, is I was watching it back, is he smiles before he says "Tall Man." He smiles before he does it. Like he knows what he's about to do.
Yeah.
He knows what he's about to do, but anyway, I just thought that was funny. I just joined. I won't say subscribe. I said it out loud. I just joined your channel, Jeremy. Respect to you as well, brother.
Got to put this one up. Waiting for it to show up. South Florida sunshine. You got some of us from Mrs. T. She asked us to raid you. Thank you so much, Miss T. And thank you for coming in for the raid. I appreciate that. I like to be rated.
Yeah. It's fun.
Rate it.
It depends on how good the raid is. If there's a bunch of trolls that come in, that's not good. But
Yeah, I don't want the trolls. The
I'm
trolls.
not saying from this channel. I'm just saying in general. I've been raided before in the past, and I had a bunch of trolls come in and call me fat and all these horrible names.
I remember that song, Thumbelina, Jeremy Heath. We used to do that one in church at Sunday school. Of course, we were innocent then. We didn't know what that meant.
Right. There's still 19 people in the house right now. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a good live. I have nothing planned for tomorrow. I don't have any videos ready. I mean, I'm just so far behind y'all. Canning.
I have to work tomorrow.
Prepping. I've been prepping and canning and prepping and gardening and prepping.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Get ready for the winter.
Well, I got to do what I got to do, but kind of my YouTube channel may be stagnant for a while because it's all going to be about canning or gardening.
Okay. Okay.
So the lives kind of break up the monotony a little bit. I'm doing a short vertical live on Mondays just because I don't have time sometimes to get a Monday video out.
Right.
I backed off doing the Thrifty Fun for the most part until after this season's over with. Our garden is actually coming in hot and heavy. We have tomatoes coming out my ears right now and sweet basil coming out my ears right now. So the sweet basil's being dehydrated, but the tomatoes have got to be processed and put into jars. Missed the raids of 2020, and then the thing changed.
Yeah. Well, the whole world changed in 2020 because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I'll just say it that way. I won't go any further on that. But Alfonso, so I'm curious, what do you do for work, if you don't mind?
I work at a thrift store.
Okay, nice, awesome.
I wish we had an art thrift store here.
Yeah,
I'd be topping it.
Oh yeah. The Arc Thrift, they're a great company that hire. Their goal is to mainly hire people with disabilities to work for them. They're the largest employer for employees with disabilities in the state of Colorado, and they're expanding to New Mexico next year.
Oh, really? Okay, wow.
I need to find out how to do that live redirect, Nora. I'm so far behind on technology. It's not even funny.
I'm kind of behind too on technology now because I've been out of school.
I don't know what that is either, Susan. What's live redirect? How do you do that?
I don't know how.
I don't know how to do that either.
No, you gotta pay for
is it a
stream? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a paid version of StreamYard.
Okay.
Oh, it's a StreamYard thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's a StreamYard to do a live redirect. You gotta pay.
If you tell StreamYard that you can't afford it, they'll offer you for like $10. They'll offer to you like cheaper than $25. They did that to me one time.
Yeah.
See, look at that! I love that. See, I love that middle finger right there. That's on the screen right now.
As it is, I'm paying for my Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, for my Photoshop, video editor, everything, the whole 9 yards. Like
Crisco and bacon grease is making you fatter. Crisco's not healthy, buddy. Bacon fat is healthy, and so is butter, even though they try to tell you opposite.
Right.
He says, I'm waiting to can my snap green beans, but I'm getting fatter eating healthy food. Oh, let's see what Ann has to say. I forgot to tell everyone I ate my first grown peach today. Oh, my goodness. My mouth is watering.
Oh,
you know, I got my first chili pepper from my garden.
Oh, nice.
Boy. Did you eat it?
Yeah, cut it down already.
Nice.
Awesome.
The good thing wasn't so spicy, but there's a different taste than when you buy at the store.
Yeah, Crisco has soy in it now, so it's not healthy for you.
and I got a few raspberries. I got to eat some of them. Then my blueberries and my strawberries are all gone because the rabbits ate them.
Oh
Oh,
no.
wow.
Christy says, I think the coyotes are back. Yeah, uh, we have coyotes really bad where we live at. Really bad. We also have black panthers here. We don't have any bears yet, although one of the Fox News people years ago, when a little boy disappeared, said we were in the hills of Tennessee with all the bears. And I'm like, oh my Lord, she don't even know where we're at.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, boy.
That was just, and I said, we need to get the t shirt that says, I live in bear country or something. West Tennessee Bears.
That's funny. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. The first time we had raised peaches, they were small the first year, but they get bigger as the tree grows. So you may have some bigger peaches next year. And our trees got so heavy it broke branches with peaches. It was
Oh,
something else. Herman is a bear. That's what Nora's saying.
I can be. I can be. If you wake me up too early in the morning, then yeah, I will be a bear. Unless I set my alarm.
Yeah.
But I actually set my alarm specifically to be here early this morning for your stream, and I was late. So,
That's okay.
at least I was here.
My alarm went off this morning. I didn't want to get up. I was just like, no, do I have to?
I had to get up around 7 to tend to my garden, to water my garden, stuff like that. I usually get up around 7, 6:30, 7:30, 7.
Oh, that's for Nora. That just really hurt my throat. Thanks, Nora. But it's okay. It's fun. I'm having too much fun. Is YouTube supposed to be this much fun, Susan? I don't know if I'm supposed to be having this much fun.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you
It's
have.
normal. It's good, man.
Yeah, I like to have fun on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Y'all, I'm not a stick in the mud.
I know you definitely are not. Yes, you are very entertaining. Now,
Although I
like
did
to-
play with mud pies when I was a kid. That was a stick in the mud.
Hey, hey, Susan, how far am I from the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch?
there we go.
What'd
How
you
far
say?
am I? How far am I from the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch? How far is it?
You're a little bit away from me.
Oh.
South Florida Sunshine says Crisco is not good, period. Old or new, too processed, animal fats and olive oil. Our body knows what those are and can break them down. Crisco is good for candles. If bugs won't eat it, we shouldn't. That's very good. I like that. I really like that. Herman is a new member. Thank you, Herman.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Woo!
I tell you, remember, I've been on this channel for a long time, over the years. So I
Well, I
decided
appreciate you being here and becoming a member. I appreciate you so much.
I like the name. I like the name of the group. It's the Cackle Balls. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
Well, I was going to call it butt nuggets.
Either way, Cackle Balls or Butt Nuggets would have been either
Cackle
one.
balls and butt nuggets are just country names for eggs.
There we go. Oh,
You're
see,
an egghead.
I'm an egghead. There we go. I like it. I'll go with that. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
I like to help people out where I can, whether it's memberships or super chats or whatever I can do for people.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you every time you come in.
Thanks.
South Florida Sunshine says I would come up, would have a bag on my head and color in my grays at the moment.
Hey, I got gray right here on my beard.
I've got a little gray up here.
Gray, it's a sign of wisdom.
Actually, I got some. I think I got getting some gray wires, silver wires.
Silver wires on your face.
There
Yeah.
we
My
go.
husband has more gray hair than I do, and he's younger than me, y'all.
Bro.
He's a burly man too. He's got the beard and the whole.
Oh yeah. Is it almost like mine, or is it more?
It's more.
More okay.
Actually, let me tell you, when I was
You
growing
got
up,
yours trim compared to his.
There we go. Well, I had to trim mine because I had to keep it. It gets too long and it's really bad.
Yeah.
Right
well, I don't
there.
like having beard, but growing up, my mom will get disgusted looking at me when I have a beard or if I don't shave for a day or two. My mom will get disgusted.
Hey, Adenir, welcome in.
We have more people still like popping in. We have people coming in. They know they want you to stay on all day, Susan. I know you can't stay on all day, but I'm just saying they want you to stay on all day long.
Yeah, I wish I could. I really do. We've been on here almost 2 hours. I
Hey,
think.
Susan, can I bring my chicken up?
Yeah, do it quickly because we're going to have to get off here.
Oh,
we're at 2 hours. I can't believe this. It's just unbelievable.
This is called the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch overtime.
Overtime. Yeah, we're over.
Oh my gosh! There's your mascot there, Susan.
Hey, have you been behaving?
That's the chicken. Oh, that chicken just flipped us off. What is going on over here? I thought this was a family friendly stream here. No.
It is.
I know. I'm just kidding. Chicken, what's up, buddy?
Nothing good. I'm on probation.
I know. I hear you.
I got kicked out of school because I got caught cheating on my test.
You got kicked out of school? Fun.
Yeah.
So did I.
And I bit the teacher's finger,
They called it graduation though when I got kicked out of school.
but I got expelled.
I hear you, chicken. This is awesome. The chicken's talking to me right now. I speak chicken.
Yeah,
Hey, what? Hey, chicken. Why'd the chicken cross the road?
I wanted to get to the other side.
No. It's because there was a turkey over there that they wanted to talk to.
Speaking of turkeys, our turkey poult hangs out with the chickens.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a male or a female yet, but it hangs out with the chickens and it loves the chickens and it checks on the chickens. I'm like, this is going to be a good bird. It follows us around the yard. It's so funny.
Nice. Oh, the chicken's tired now. He's yawning.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, my hours were falling off. I had lost about 300 hours within a couple of weeks. So this ought to be good for regaining some of my watch hours that dropped off. So thank you so much for remembering that.
I found out that I was originally a fighter. I would fight with other chickens.
Speaking of chickens and real chickens, we got 12 baby chicks that's hatched in the last week. Now we still got chickens laying out, pretty hens on the eggs. We got 2 big hens on the eggs, and all the rest of them are the BB Reds, the little bitty hens. So we're gonna have lots and lots of chickens.
Oh, nice.
And when they hatch them, they're free chickens.
There we go.
You know when I first came to Colorado, I got into a big old fight with another animal here. And I got in trouble.
The chicken. I'm trying to interpret chicken talk here. I can't really hear.
I got in trouble something.
I got in trouble for getting into a fight with another animal.
Oh.
Yeah, and not only that, the reason I'm on probation because I robbed a train.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
you robbed a train. I know that was a bad chicken.
I had a banana. I used the banana as a
Bananas? Oh my
He
god.
robbed the train with a banana, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, that's perfect. Can I?
And then,
Can I?
and then not only that, I think early around Christmas time, I got pulled over for DWI.
DWI.
Yeah.
You are driving with what? A banana?
No, I got caught drinking and driving.
This is entertaining. This is my morning entertainment for me.
I got caught
I don't know
drinking
about
and
the rest of you
driving.
guys, but it's morning for me.
It made things worse for me.
Chicken, are you having fun today, Chicken?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. I'm worried about you, Chicken. What's your name?
Jeremy, I'm sorry you lost your parakeet.
Lorenzo?
Yeah, get you some chickens. Chickens are entertaining, I'm telling you.
Especially this one on your show right now.
Yeah, ducks are entertaining too. We just love to watch the ducks. They're very entertaining.
I was wondering, can we have a cockfight on the live or no?
No. No.
Okay, that I you know what? If I was drinking something right now, I'd already be spitting it out at this point in time.
Oh my goodness.
We cannot.
Alfonso.
This is a family show. We can't do that here on this show.
Like The way I do a cockfight is I grab a lightsaber from Star Wars and fight with the other chickens.
Oh, there we go. You're gonna have a chicken. Yeah, banana stick. Exactly. That's right. You're gonna have, wait. You're gonna use a lightsaber from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Papa Smurf Ron said banana stick up.
banana stick. I like that.
Alfonso, I would, but we're fixing to close out because we were over 2 hours and I don't want to go too much longer.
All right.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Bye, chicken.
Oh, y'all have been great guests. I really appreciate y'all coming on today.
It's been
Made
fun.
my day.
Me too.
So now I know we can't have cockfights on the live, right, Susan?
No.
No,
No,
that's a no-no.
That's
Well, y'all, it's been fun. I appreciate y'all being up here. We're going to pray and we're going to close out. How's that?
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this live today. We thank you for our friends Alfonso and Herman for coming on the panel. We thank you for everybody that has come through the chat today. I'm super, super excited about each and every one of them. Lord, wrap them in a hedge of protection as they go about their business this week. If any be without Jesus today, Lord, let them have dreams and visions of Jesus. For those that are watching later or the ones that are watching and not commenting, Lord, we ask you to bless them as well. Help our channels to grow, Father. Let it be edifying and glorifying you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Thank you, folks.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Susan. Have a great day.
You have a
God bless.
wonderful week, guys. Come see me again. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
If I can get my computer to cooperate.